We are going to talk about a young Nigerian boy that was executed in 2007 in Singapore. This story is a very sad one. It happened to Tochi Iwuchukwu Amara. He was a little boy from Nigeria, so he grew up in a close-knit family in Abia State. He was born on 17th of June 1985. So he was very young. With his siblings, they were growing up. They didn't have much money. They were just like surviving on the little that they were able to get. Their mom died when they were little, so they were only dependent on their dad, and their dad didn't have much that he was doing at the time. So even his elder brother had to drop out of school for him to continue schooling. So things were not really moving on well for them. But Tochi, as a little boy, had this passion for football. He would play and play with his classmates, with his schoolmates. He would play on the streets. He just had this passionate zeal for football. Then when he was 14 years old, he represented Nigeria in the West African Coca-Cola World Cup. When he was 14, that's a very great feat for a little Nigerian boy at the time. Then he left Nigeria for Senegal when he was quite young. Getting to Senegal, he was in a club in Senegal playing football. Then while he was there, he heard that it is possible for you to get a train from Pakistan to Dubai. That while you get to Pakistan, you'll be able to like get a visa and then a train ride from Pakistan to Dubai. He was so happy. He had to gather everything that he had in Senegal. He was able, even his family, friends, everybody was able to contribute for him, and he left Senegal for Pakistan. When he got to Pakistan, he found out that it was a lie, that there was no such ride from Pakistan to Dubai. But he was 18 at the time, so he didn't know much. So he didn't know that there was no such ride there. So he was just stranded in Pakistan. He didn't have anyone there. He didn't know anybody. So people directed him to a Catholic church, being that he is a Catholic boy. So he went to a Catholic church, St. Andrew's in Islamabad. So that was where he went, and he stayed in that Catholic church. So he would help clean the church. They would give him some food. He didn't have much. He was just surviving and staying there and hoping that one day things would change for him. Then one day he met a Mr. Smith in that church. Mr. Smith came there and he met him, and he found out that the man is also from his own tribe in Nigeria. He's Igbo. The man is also Igbo. So he trusted him, had like a level of trust, seeing your fellow tribesman in a foreign land. So he had trust with the man. Then the man started giving him food, started giving him small money. He will help the man to do little chores, and the man will dash him some money. So he had this trust in where the man is, that this is my tribesman. He will not hurt me, he will not harm me. So he was just dependent on the man, kind of. Gradually, as the day goes by, one of the days, the man asked Tochi what happened, why is he here, why is he stranded. Tochi explained everything to him, that he wanted to join a football club in Dubai, that he was told that when he gets to Pakistan, he will be able to get a train ride to Dubai, and there is no such thing as that, so that's why he's stranded. So the man told him that, okay, so that since he was not able to go to Dubai, and then, okay, the man promised him that he was going to help him to get a visa to Dubai, and then he will help him pay his plane tickets and all of that. So Tochi was so happy. So the man told him that he tried to apply for visa for him, that he was not able to get visa for Dubai. But there is a thing that if he can help him to do this favor, that maybe he will be able to play football in Singapore. Tochi was happy, because anything that has to do with football, that was what he needed, that was what he wanted. So the man told him that he will send him to Singapore to help him deliver a herbal medicine for his friend. That if he's able to do that, then his friend will give him some money, that maybe that money will be able to help him to join a football club in Singapore. That is even better than going to Dubai. So from the man's explanation and everything, Tochi was so elated. He was so happy. So the man prepared the herbal medicine for him, and then he unwrapped it and gave to him. Tochi didn't bother to check the herbal medicine. The man told him that the herbal medicine tastes like chocolate, that he would just need to just deliver it to that his friend, that there is no problem. The man helped him to get the visa for Singapore and everything, prepare his travel documents. So Tochi was so happy that that he was able to meet this savior in Islamabad. So after their preparation, Tochi was set to leave Islamabad on 26th of November 2004. So on that day, he dressed up and carried his few belongings and the herbal medicine that he was supposed to deliver to Mr. Smith's friend in Singapore. So the man told him that his friend, his name is Mr. Malaki Okeke, that is just that he's coming in from Indonesia, that when Tochi gets to Singapore, they will just meet at the airport, and then he will give Malaki the herbal medicine. Then Malaki will give him the $2,000. As at that time, 2004, $2,000 was huge money. So he was so happy that he would be able to get that kind of money from Malaki, Mr. Smith's friend. So he left for Singapore. So when he got to Singapore, he was at the airport. He didn't see Mr. Malaki. He waited for Mr. Malaki for a very long time. He would call Mr. Smith. He would tell him to continue waiting, that he should keep waiting, that Malaki will soon land, that their flight had delay, that he should just wait, at the airport lobby, that he will soon land. So Tochi continued waiting. He kept waiting. He has waited for like 12 hours. He has waited for a very long time. So he called Mr. Smith and told him that he has not seen Malaki. So Mr. Smith told him to just go to the receptionist at that airport lobby and tell her that he wants to rent a hotel room to wait for his friend. So Tochi accepted. So he approached the hotel receptionist, the receptionist there, and the receptionist attended to him and told him that there is no vacant room for now, that he should just wait for a while, that when someone leaves, so he will be able to get a room. So Tochi stayed there and waited for 12 hours. So when he approached the receptionist again to talk to her about the room, the receptionist was like suspicious. So this boy's flight has not left. Why is he still here? That is very, very suspicious for him to be here for almost 12 hours. So the receptionist told him that okay, there is a vacant room, but before I'll give you the vacant room, you have to call. I'll have to call the authorities for you to come and check if there is anything suspicious with you or something like that. That she have to call. That's their protocol. That she have to call the authorities. So Tochi, being that he doesn't have anything illegal on him, so he didn't feel any type of way. He just said, okay, call the police. So the lady placed the call to the police, and the police arrived, and they asked Tochi questions. He answered their questions. He told them that he is waiting for his friend, that the person that sponsored the trip told him to deliver herbal medicine to his friend, that's who he's waiting for. So they asked him to open the medicine. So Tochi opened it and told them that yes, that is the herbal medicine, that they don't know that this medicine is from Africa, that they may not be conversant with the type of medicine that he is with, that is from Africa, is African medicine, that he needs to just give it to Mr. Malaki so that he will give him money and then he will leave the airport. Because according to them, that's Changi airport in Singapore, he cannot leave that airport without having at least $2,000 on him. So he cannot leave the airport. So that was the reason why Mr. Smith told him that Mr. Malaki will give him the $2,000. So he explained all these things to them. So they said, okay, they had to test the drug. When they tested that drug, he found out it was heroin. So it was a very harmful substance that is banned in that country, and the gram that Tochi had was so high. Then in Singapore, having 2 grams of that particular substance will having 2 gram of that particular substance is okay, but having more than 15 grams of it, they will assume that you want to traffic it, so that you are a supplier of that kind of thing. So it was a very big something, a major thing for them, because when they checked the grammage of the substance that Tochi was with, it was 727.02 grams. So it was very high. So there is no way for them, there is no way Tochi is bringing this into the country, not to come and distribute and sell it. So that he's trafficking the drugs. So it was a major case for them. They said no, that there is no way. With his explanation, he kept explaining to them that it is herbal medicine. He had to even take it. He took one of it to test, to show them. When he took it, it's like his stomach started cramping. They had to take him to the hospital to take a laxative to be able to regain himself. So he didn't know that was what he was with. They knew that they felt that, okay, maybe he's innocent, but they cannot leave him like that. So took him, then and after with his explanation and everything, they were able to get the number of Mr. Smith in his phone. So they told him, okay, let's continue calling Malaki. So they were calling Malaki, and when Malaki at that time, when the police were with Tochi, Malaki had already gotten to the country. So they also Malaki described where he was to Mr. Smith. Then Tochi called Mr. Smith. Then Mr. Smith told Malaki that described where Malaki was in the airport. That he should just go and meet him and give him the herbal medicine. So Mr. Smith didn't know that Tochi is with the police. So none of them knew that Tochi has been arrested. So Tochi now led the police officers to where Malaki was at the airport. Malaki denied Tochi immediately. Said no, that he doesn't know Tochi, that he is a car dealer, that he just came to Singapore to buy used cars. That he just came to Singapore to buy used cars. So the police were confused. Okay, where is your ID card that shows that? Where is the ID card that shows that you are dealing on used cars? It doesn't have that. It doesn't even have complimentary cards to show that this is his business. This is what he's doing. Then on further inspection, they found out that he has Mr. Smith's number in his phone, and that he has spoken to Mr. Smith like a few minutes before they approached him, and that Mr. Smith's number was saved as Dogo in his phone. So they knew that Tochi was saying the truth. So they arrested Malaki. Then they tried to call when Mr. Smith suspects that something is wrong. He vanished. He switched off his phone and vanished. So even till now, till this day, nobody knows who Mr. Smith is. So it's assumed that both his name and everything is just his fake name, and everything is fake. So they don't know his identity. Tochi and Malaki were both arrested. So when they checked everything, they said that the worth of the drugs with Tochi is 1.5 Singaporean money. I don't know whether they are using dollars or something. Then the worth of it in US dollars is $970,000. That's the worth of the drug that he was with. That's very big. That's huge. As at 2004. Hey. So it was a very huge it was a very huge thing, a very huge deal for the Singaporeans, a very huge deal for Singaporean government. So they arrested Tochi, and they didn't listen. They didn't want to know what Tochi is talking to them. It's as if Tochi is just giving them story. So the case had to go to court, and I told you that according to the Singaporean law, if it's more than that 15 grams, it's considered it trafficking, and the penalty for trafficking in that place is death. They don't even till now, it's still death. They don't there's a talk about that one. You just, if they catch you with more than that 15 gram, your own don't finish. So they just took the case to court. The lawyer that was appointed to Tochi was trying to explain to the judge that Tochi doesn't know that this was an illegal substance that is bringing into the country, that he didn't know. They were saying that ignorance is not an excuse, that for him to be promised $2,000 to bring in something like that, that he should know that Mr. Smith is not a good person, that he should know that what is the things that Mr. Smith wants him to do is not something that is normal, that is supposed to pick that $2,000 for someone to ask you, for someone to give you $2,000, that maybe you are doing something huge for him to give you that kind of amount of money, that type of money, that they know that maybe Tochi is innocent, maybe Tochi doesn't know that he's bringing in something like that. But for him to collect $2,000 on the promise of that $2,000, for him to have that kind of promise to bring in something like that, that means he has some kind of knowledge that what he's doing is not good, that what he's doing is not right, that was why they promised him that huge amount of money. Tochi was trying to explain to him, the lawyer was trying to explain to the judge that this boy is just coming from a very poor home, from a poor background, that this boy doesn't know, that he just came into this country, that if he had that type of intention, if he had felt guilty, he wouldn't have waited for the police to come, because he waited in that lobby for the receptionist to call the police. He didn't feel any type of guilt. He didn't leave, he didn't run, he didn't attempt to run. He even took one of the drug, thinking that it is that according to that is a herbal medicine, according to Mr. Smith. He trusted him to that extent. He even told the police that Mr. Smith told him that he tasted like chocolate. So he didn't believe, he didn't know that this is what this man is using him for. The judge said no, because according to him, the documents that Mr. Smith used to prepare the travel documents for Tochi also had some illegal things there, forged fake documents there, that Tochi should have known that Mr. Smith is not, number one, a rich man, to be able to give him that $2,000, because Mr. Smith was feeding from hand to mouth too in Islamabad. It's not as if he had so much. So for him to agree to give him that kind of big money, pay for his plane ticket and everything, that Tochi should have known that what he's going to do for him is not something good. That was why he sentenced Tochi to death with Mr. Malaki. Mr. Malaki's own is that he knows what he did. He knows that he's going down for that. So for Tochi, that they were trying to save, just sentenced Tochi to death. After saying that he knows that Tochi may be innocent, but for him on that promise, and that he's gaining something from doing something like that for him, that's why he just sentenced him to death. And after they appealed it from that 2004 to 2007. They kept appealing it, and when he was tried again, they still gave him the death penalty. So there was nothing that could be explained to the Singaporean government. They just want the death penalty for Tochi for carrying that kind of grammage of substance to their country. It was just bad. Human rights activists heard about this case. Human rights activists in Germany heard about this case. They had to send in one of the human rights lawyers to Singapore. So the man even had to talk to Tochi's family, because Tochi's family could not even go to that country. They could not go because they didn't have money to go. So after he collected the right to see Tochi from their family, the family told him that, gave him the right to be able to speak for them when he gets there. So when he got there, he wanted to see Tochi and speak with him, but they refused. They did not give him access to see Tochi. Even on the wall of the prison, they had to hang Tochi's jersey there. People, even the human rights activists from Singapore, were also pleading for Tochi to be released, that this boy is innocent, he's young, he doesn't know that this was what Mr. Smith is trying to set him up with, that he was just set up. But the government did not listen. They just said that they will have to execute him, that committing such crime, that ignorance is not an excuse. So after when the human rights activist has tried his best in Singapore and seen that they were not listening to him, so he had to come back to Nigeria to meet the Nigerian government. Even even President Olusegun Obasanjo at the time had to plead with the Singaporean government, but he received the news late. So when the human rights activists got to Nigeria, it was already during the Christmas time, so he could not assess the presidency or something like that. So he could not tell. He could not. Nothing could be done around that time. So after the festivities, so he met with them and explained to them. President Olusegun Obasanjo had to write to the president of Singapore and explain everything to him, begging him to pardon Tochi, but they refused. Nothing was done. This thing got to them 48 hours before Tochi was executed, and nothing could be done. Even a lot of human rights activists in Singapore gathered, and they were on hunger strike, declared hunger strike for Tochi, to plead with the government to release him, but the government didn't do anything. They refused to release Tochi. So after everything, when he has been said that nothing could be done anymore, Tochi just left his fate to God. Then on 26th January 2007, around 6 a.m. in the morning, Singaporean time, Tochi was executed. It was said that 5 minutes before his execution, he held the priest, the Catholic priest that prayed for him, and asked him to pray for him. And afterwards, 5 minutes later, he was led into the execution chamber and he was duly executed 6 o'clock a.m. January 26th, 2007. So it was a very saddening case that happened. Nobody could plead with the Singaporean government. They had to uphold their law, that if you bring in something higher than 15 grams, that will have to face the death penalty. And that was what happened to Tochi. He died. He died on that day, and Mr. Smith vanished. Even to this day, nobody knows where he is. Nobody knows who he is. Malaki was also executed that day too. So that was what happened to them. Tochi's family could not even go to Singapore to collect his corpse. Tochi had to be buried in Singapore. The Catholic Church there were able to take him to bury him in one of the cemeteries there. And that is the story of Tochi Iwuchukwu Amara. It's a very saddening story. It's a very heartbreaking story. And I ask, if Tochi is from America, is American, if Tochi is from other developed countries, will that have happened to him? Will they have executed him just like that? Even after the judge saying that he knows that Tochi is maybe innocent, he still sentenced him to death by hanging. It's a very sad one. I feel so bad for him because he's a young man that had a lot of dreams. He wanted to remove poverty from his family. He wanted to be the next JJ Okocha, the next Kanu Wankwo. He looked up to those guys. He wanted to play for international leagues to remove poverty from his family. And this is what this man made him pass through. And he trusted him so much because he was from his tribe. And this is what it led to. I can remember around that 2005, 2004. I think we heard something like this. I don't know. can remember people saying that if you are going to any airport, if someone asks you to take in anything for him, that you should not take anything for anybody. You should not help anybody to deliver anything to any country, because you don't know who is who. You don't know who is packing something, who will try to destroy someone by packing illegal things inside your bag, and then leading the person to a very big problem. A lot of people are in prisons in the whole world. A lot of people have been executed because of this type of thing. So we should all be very careful. We should not trust wholesomely. We should not trust wholly on people. People are wicked. People are bad. So this is the story of Tochi, and I hope we've learned one or two lessons from it. So if you are coming across my channel for the first time, my name is Linda Amara, and this is Crime Stories with Linda. I talk about stories all over the world with a Nigerian perspective, but today we talked about a Nigerian. So this boy is from my tribe, he's from my country. I felt so bad for him. It is well with his family. I hope they had the fortitude to bear this loss. It's not easy. All right, have a wonderful day. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and don't take anything for anybody. Don't deliver anything for anybody to any country. Have a wonderful day. Bye.